What is going on, beautiful people? I am Lee Hammock, the diagnosed self-aware narcissist known as mental illness, and welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains, short edition. Today we're going to be talking about one of a narcissistic parent's biggest fears: when their kids cut them the hell off, when they go no contact on them. Stay tuned, like and subscribe. Thank you so much. So being a diagnosed narcissist and having 3 kids of my own, one of my biggest fears is actually my kids cutting me off. So yes, most narcissistic people will feel a hurt, pain, and ultimate rejection if their kids to go no contact with them or stop communicating with them. But as most narcissistic people, how their minds work, they will blame their kids and try to justify their kids not being in their lives. They will say somebody else influenced their kids to leave them alone, or social media has turned my kids against me and things like that. Very rarely will you ever find a narcissistic person that is willing to take accountability and understand why their kids cut them off. A narcissistic parent will point the finger at everybody else except for themselves if their kids stop communicating with them or cut them off, or don't let them see the grandkids and things like that. And a lot of times that toxic narcissistic parent will become angry as hell because they feel like they sacrificed so much for their child and things like that, and their child should be grateful the narcissistic parent brought them into this world. Hope this helps. What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome back. Like I said, y'all, if you're new here, I'm a clinically diagnosed person with narcissistic personality disorder. I know there's a tongue twister right there. But yeah, one of my biggest fears is my kids cutting me off, y'all, because a lot of time nowadays more kids are cutting their parents off at an astonishing rate. It's absolutely insane. So that is one of my biggest fears, is me just damaging my kids to the point where they live a better life without me. Just like most narcissistic parents, they don't want their kids to cut them off because they feel like their kids should be indebted to them. It might not necessarily be a fear of theirs, but they don't want it to happen because it's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing when your damn kids don't talk to you anymore because, what did you do? Most people are like, what did you do? Some people who are in your age group, who are in that toxic narcissistic parents age group, might try to, justify it. Well, kids these days, they social media, blah, 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 blah. They want to try to justify it along with the narcissistic parent because they're in the same age group and they don't understand it. But narcissistic abuse, toxic abuse, whatever you want to call it nowadays, by a parent is absolutely a real thing, y'all. It just is. And a narcissistic parent, toxic parent, whatever, will justify their kids cutting them off by blaming somebody else. They'll put it onto somebody else. Nowadays, y'all know so-and-so got friends or whatever on the TikTok, the Googles, and the YouTubers. They're just telling everybody to cut their parents off instead of listening to their parents. They should be indebted. Narcissistic, toxic parents feel like you should be indebted to them. You owe them your life. You absolutely do. They feel like you owe them your life because they brought you into this world. They sacrificed so much for you that you should be indebted to them. And how dare you cut them off? How dare you cut them off? How dare you cut off a person who did everything for you? Even though they probably treated you like crap, they raised you. You should be grateful that they raised you and did what they did for you. Blah, 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 boo, 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 beep, beep, beep. Now, I'm just telling you, narcissistic parents, they fear that. So, I'm not telling you to cut your parents off because I know that's extremely tough to do, but sometimes you need to take a step back. Sometimes cutting down contact with your parents can help you heal in a way that you can't when you're talking to them every day, especially if they have control over you, because they'll try to anchor onto you by making you financially obligated to them, by making you financially dependent upon them and things like that, or making you emotionally dependent upon them. But they just keep you sequestered your whole life. And they blanket you your whole life, so they are the only source of love that you know. So toxic parents are a real thing, y'all. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. I really, truly appreciate every single one of y'all, because as much as y'all learn from me, I learn even more from you. So thank you for tuning in. Mental Illness is out. Peace.